from self-discovery to unapologetic passion, from inner strength to outward influence. It's Your Turn charts the journey of empowerment. Welcome to our series, where the book comes to life. In each episode, we explore a chapter's wisdom through real stories. We uncover the strategies that turn potential into power. And we witness how one woman's journey can inspire countless others. Prepare to see yourself in these pages and voices. Because with every story, we're reminded, it's your turn to write the next chapter.
Welcome to another conversation for the book It's Your Turn. And it is my honor to introduce Princess Abumbi Prudence. She's a visionary leader and advocate from Cameroon. Princess Prudence serves as the national coordinator of Better World Cameroon, where she dedicates herself to empowering women and youth for a brighter future. With a passionate commitment to giving Africa a voice on the global stage, Princess Prudence works tirelessly to create opportunities for young people to share their ideas and showcase their talents. She's a staunch advocate for girls' education and tirelessly supports children affected by the ongoing crisis in Cameroon, many of whom have been displaced. Princess Prudence's leadership extends to her role in coordinating the reconstruction of the Bafut eco-village, which was tragically destroyed by the fire during the current unrest. Her approach to leadership is characterized by resilience, focus, self-confidence, and an unwavering passion for her work. As a leader, she believes in the power of collaboration, continuous learning, and the importance of exploring new frontiers in leadership. She views challenges as opportunities for growth and consistently strives to overcome obstacles with a positive mindset. So join me in welcoming a true catalyst for change in Africa, Princess Prudence. Welcome. Welcome to this conversation. I am thrilled to have you here. How are you doing?
Thank you so much, Helen. I am so delighted, and thank you once more for this opportunity.
The honor is all mine, and I'm so happy that you want to share your experiences and your views because they are so aligned with the book, with It's Your Turn. And in the first chapter in our book, Shaping Influence, we are exploring how early influences shape our self-perception. So with that in mind, what role models or archetypes inspired you when you grew up? And did your cultural narratives shape your early interests and how you looked at life?
Thank you, Helen, for this question. I can say early influences are like 80%. It's what determines the 80% of the success or maturity in a man or a woman. Reasons being that when you are still a child, what you start practicing, it becomes part of you because practice makes perfect. When you start practicing things in early ages, you have the mindset of keeping it. You have the mindset of seeing it as part of you because at that time, the influence of that practice has something very powerful to contribute in your life. It's like a little child who is still growing up. What that child starts practicing at that age determines how the success of that child when he becomes mature is because at that child, his brain is easy to copy, good or bad. It's easy to have a reflection, a retentive memory of one or two things that child does as from that time. So early influences are very important because it is like a bridge, a foundation where you stand before you become mature in your mature influence. You must start from there. So early influences has really influenced me positively in the sense that my father, King Abumbi II, happens to be a king. That I began seeing his leadership and I began practicing this leadership while as a child because in situations where we have cabinet members who comes to visit the kingdom or visit us, when he started the leadership of communication, there are moments that he gives me that opportunity also to partake or to contribute in their communication. So from there, I began participating and seeing how I can lead people, I can rule, problem solving, being outspoken, the mutual love that you should show for your people, having this idea that without the people, I am nobody. Without the people, I am nowhere to be found, because I don't princess myself. The people that I render the services to ask me the value of a princess. So from then, I learned to understand that my father is a king because of the people, because of the community. Without the community, there will be no king, because he cannot lead himself.
Absolutely. Yes. And I hear there's a lot of positive influence when you were, as a child, when you were so open to receive all these influences. On the other hand, as a woman, did you ever feel pressure to conform to certain expectations, like your career path, your choices for study, things like that? Did that also happen, knowing or to your
I,
idea?
I felt pressured. Not that someone pressured me, but my mind gave me that pressure that there is something that I'm supposed to do that I am not doing. When your mind is not at peace, that is the greatest pressure that you can ever receive. No human can pressurize you as compared to your inner spirit or your soul consciousness. The soul consciousness of my mind gave me that irresistible pressure, because I felt that as who I am, I stand to bridge the gap of leadership. What steps am I taking? How have I impacted these people? What am I still waiting for? Do I think there is still more time? Especially seeing what was happening around, seeing that the Bafut kingdom is a big kingdom where my father himself cannot rule alone. He needs the support of people like us, because of a kingdom of about 80 something thousand community members. It's a huge kingdom where he could not rule alone. So having this pressure for my self-consciousness that it was time for me to step into leadership, that was when I began drawing closer and taking this leadership more serious, more committed. I began giving my commitment into it more and more, because at first I felt like he was the one to lead. Let me just support him and go. The commitment was never there. The commitment with that passion, because sometimes you work with passion. When you work with passion, it's quite different from when you desire to work. So from desires to work or to obey his words, I left from that desire to passion because of the commitment that it came within me as a result of pressure, that if I don't have passion in what I am doing, one day I will give up. One day I will not continue. When I have obstacles, I will give up because I desire to, but the passion was not there. So when I accepted this pressure through that passion, it paved me away in a sense that where I have obstacles, the passion in me is what keeps me going. Where I have confrontation, the passion in me is what keeps me going. Challenges that I cannot handle, the passion, the energy and the vibration of that passion becomes more powerful, that I am able to keep on going.
So how do you keep that passion burning? How do you cultivate it? What does it take for you to keep that every day?
Okay, it's just every day I set aside my goals. I said, okay, today these are my goals. Maybe just to walk around, check on the community members. How are they doing? How are they faring? Because that passion is to serve humanity. And if it's to serve humanity, then the responsibilities of your people, their happiness, their well-being, it becomes your role. In a sense that you must not offer financial materials. Sometimes just waking up with a positive energy. Hi, how was your night? I just wanted to say, how is your family? How is mom? How is everything? Just by you asking like that, maybe that person was in a state of mind that he was devastated. But just because of that concern, that positive concern, it's wow, the princess had my concern and he could ask me how I'm doing. That means it's something special. And then the way he responds to you with so much joy, oh, I'm fine, my princess, everything. Wow, I'm so happy that out of many people, you had my time. So the way the people responded to me also with joy, it keeps me going, because sometimes you feel discouraged where you are not welcome. The response that people sense towards you, sometimes it may make you feel reluctant. So each time I approach situations, the way also that the people welcomes me, they honor me, they respect me, it keeps that passion burning in me, because they always reciprocate with positive energies. So because of that, every day my energy, it's growing positively, not reducing from positive to negativity.
Yeah, because you are surrounded also by positive energy. That's beautiful. Have you never been like discouraged or encountered negativity or skepticism in your role that you took up as a princess?
Yes, I have, because of the past. The other past princesses, most of them, they were not educated, they were not learned, they were illiterate, they were not literate. So their leadership styles and the role of leadership which they practice was quite different, because they limited in knowledge or the lack of knowledge. So the mistakes that they made, at times it's like it become a mindset. That is how every princess is. Maybe because one was hatched, the people would just have an assumption that is how all of them are, forgetting that in every situation there is an exception. Unless they get to give you that opportunity to have that encounter with you, to know you one-on-one, to know you in person, to hear your own perspectives, to hear your own ideas, then from there they can stop judging you for who you are not. So sometimes when I used to hear about these negative impressions that they spoke about the other generation of princesses, I used to feel like this was going to be a stumbling block to my leadership, because some would feel like you're coming to exploit them and go, forgetting that you're coming for their own interest to support.
A key in the first chapter of the book is cultivating self-confidence. When you look at your experiences, how would you describe your journey to self-confidence? Because you are a very powerful and confident woman. You have your voice, you raise your voice, you show up. How did you build that confidence? As an example also for the readers.
All this confidence, I began building it when I accepted my purpose with passion. As a leader, we have challenges, we have obstacles, and we must be criticized. If you want to start tall to lead people, you must be ready, because as long as there is positivity, there is also negativity. So I built my confidence on the concept of, yes, they will speak negative words, but it doesn't change who I am. I know who I am. And as long as that is not who I am, it doesn't affect me negatively, because even if you insult me, you don't take a knife to stab me, I still remain prudence. Even if you spread the negative energy about me and people get closer and they see my positive energy, it doesn't change, because the world that we live, we can never live to please humans. As I'm doing my best to please you, you may not be pleased or satisfied. And I cannot keep on dissatisfying myself all the times because I want to please you. I just learn how to do that which I think is right. I learned how to do that which I think is the best. I learned how to keep myself connected with a positive energy, because where accusations are accused towards you about things that you did not do, your mind is at peace, because you know they are wrong allegations. But in situations where the allegations are actually true, you become guilty. So I learned how to build my confidence in the sense that I know who I am. Even if they say something which doesn't resonate to me, or which that is not who I am, I know who I am, because God is the supreme judge. We humans, we have our ways of seeing things. Sometimes, as I'm seated here, if I'm holding the figure 6, I'm seeing it as 6. But if I turn it in another dimension, it's 9. Because I only see from my point of view, from your point of view. So I learned to understand that people will see things from their point of view. People will see things depending on the situations where they are, situational approaches where they are, confrontational approaches that has confronted them, intimidating approaches that has intimidated them. And from there, they may be able to give a wrong or a sound judgment. So seeing all these things, I learned to build my confidence that the true one confidence should be the truth, nothing else and the truth. And when you stand for the truth, your energy is always positive. When you have a positive energy, you cannot lose the confidence because the positive vibration in you brings more positive vibes to negative vibes. So the confidence keeps on going.
It's amazing. When I hear you talking, I feel this innate passion, this unapologetical passion. And I thank you so much for sharing also your views on how to show up, because this is so powerful and so important. It's basically you have your internal framework of validation, and you connect and you interact and you see the feedback you have from other people, but you don't let other people basically break you down in terms of your confidence and in terms of why you are here. And that is just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Now, when we're talking about inner framework and inner dialogues, the book also emphasizes the importance of self-reflection. Yeah. When you consider your internal dialogues, what recurring themes or types of self-talk do you notice when you reflect on your inner dialogues?
Yes, I notice when I reflect on my inner dialogues, because as humans, we are bound to make mistakes. As humans, we are bound to make errors. So there is always a reflection. There is always a need for a reflection for your inner dialogues, or there is always a need for you to reflect. Like a leader, I take it as a role and a responsibility that every night before I go to bed, I take 30 minutes to reflect on my day. If my day shows that I hurt someone, because it's only through that reflection that you can point out errors, mistakes, things that you need to amend, and things that you need to let go, things that you need to tell off, and things that you need to ignore. Only through those reflections can you identify them, because during moments that you're just so busy, your subconscious mind, it's like it doesn't even identify that errors have been made, or you yourself, your consciousness doesn't cause for your attention that you made an error until when you start reflecting. And when you reflect and there is a need to apologize to someone, the following day, you can go there and then you apologize. If there is a need to do some corrections, you start co-creating with new ideas. How can I amend this? Maybe my performances last time were not the best. Maybe what I did was not the best. Maybe my speech was just too hard. How can I adjust myself? Those reflections is what builds you up as a better leader, because leadership, you don't just start from nowhere to be a great leader. You start with mistakes. You start with errors. And these errors comes through reflections. If you cannot reflect, you cannot point out your mistakes or errors. If you cannot accept that you make errors, then you cannot accept corrections. And if you cannot accept corrections, you cannot grow as a leader. So the role of reflection, it's very important in the role of leadership, because it makes you who you are. When you don't have the right reflection, you go out there, you take the wrong moves, the wrong steps, it damages your leadership reputations. It's like sometimes the way you retaliate to people, sometimes the way you approach situations as a leader, sometimes when you take wrong decisions, you comes back, your inner mind reflection troubles you. Despite what happened, I think this was not the best way you should have taken things. You should have considered that maybe he was in agony, she was in pain, maybe something transpired. She took the retaliation to approach you with. All these type of considerations and reflections are very important. So that is why, for a good example is when you encountering someone who has been angered, and then if you do not use wisdom to like halt for a while, you try to observe the atmosphere before you step in, aggression may be transferred on you, of which you are only trying to remedy a situation. You are not even a cause. But as of that point, there is aggression. So you must always reflect. How can I resolve problems when there is high tension? How can I improve on my community dialogue? How can I improve on myself? Because if I'm leading people, the leadership of people starts with me as a role model. I lead myself first. I discipline myself first before I extend it to the society. So reflection, it's very important.
Yeah, absolutely. In the book, we also encourage our readers to challenge their narratives, and I feel that this is what you do on a constant basis. So, of course, we all make mistakes, and as a leader, these mistakes can be pretty impactful. And I know that a lot of women feel sometimes that they're like an imposter. They ask themselves questions like, can we do that? Is this position a position that we can handle? Do we have the right skills and competences? Have you ever encountered this imposter syndrome? Is it something that you have struggled with during your career as a leader, as a princess?
Yes, like now before meeting you, I had a lot of obstacles and challenges. Why? Because my visions, when 2024 came out as a leader, I had an agenda whereby I had visions that I took down and projects that I had dedicated my mind saying each month, this is the target for this project. But already we are in the month of August. Most of these projects, it's like they are untouched. I have not been able to achieve because I am lacking the adequate support, the peers that I need, the positive energy, the people who are supposed to be pushing me behind as a support system. The burden of what I have, it's not for me, because carrying thousands of people in your mind is heavier than the physical burden that you have. Seeing what is happening and you are spiritually drained down is more than taking a cane to whip someone with it. It's more than inflicting a pain using a sword on someone, because this type of pain, it comes deeply from your heart. You feel like you are failing the people. It hurts just because of this. Sometimes it's like I feel the promises that I gave my people at the beginning of this year, I have not been able to meet up to. Will they see me as a fake leader? Will they see me as a deceitful person? Will they still believe in me? Sometimes they show up, they say, we need help. I cannot afford for a plate of milk, or my daughter is sick. At times also my financial constraint is limited. I wish I could do more. I wish I could do something, but as of that time, maybe I'm helpless. And when you're helpless, they just feel that because maybe because of your position, you have the world money, or maybe because I am a net weaver, I have international weaving connections, maybe I have money I don't want to give, maybe I don't just want to help. There are times that I have my own challenges. I know how to manage my challenges within myself, in order not to pull down the faith and the hope of those that are looking up to me. Because the moment that I show physically depressed, those that are standing on me, they are looking up to me as a model, they also definitely becomes what? They start losing hope. It's, oh, if Prudence it's giving up, then I don't think that there is hope. She's a giant woman, she's strong. I'm a giant woman, I have my own challenges too. So sometimes looking at these challenges of failing my people, not being able to meet up with the tasks, like this issue that I recently told you of, a girl child, promoting a girl child education, that is another burden. Some of my questions are, what if at the end I am not able to do this? How will it look like? I have spoken about encouraging the education of a girl child, but what steps am I taking? What measures am I putting in place? Because it's not all about talking. Action speaks louder than words. When we express our love to people, we show them support, the action becomes more effective than when we only talk and then we don't support with actions.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that sometimes you will have to redefine what success looks like, because I can understand that it is not always easy to get into the action and to find all the resources that you need in order to achieve what you want to achieve. So, what practices do you use also in order to cultivate this empowering perspective? Because I understand that sometimes it is hard and sometimes you feel that you are lacking the power in order to help the people that you would like to help, or in the quantities or in the dimensions that you want to help. So how do you keep up? What is it that you do in order to keep that spirit going?
I used to tell myself there is this slogan we say, as long as you are alive, there is always hope. Every day comes with its own energy. Every day comes with new opportunities. I believe that the challenges that I face today will not be the same challenges I will face tomorrow. And definitely, you cannot reach a promised land or the land of success without obstacles. There must be struggles, difficulties, limitations, and that is what prepares you more. That is when the real you is molded, is being exposed. That is when you can believe in yourself that, oh, I'm overcoming situations that I never knew I could. That is when the hidden skills and talents in you start manifesting. When you're able to overcome challenges or circumstances that you never believed that you could. Unless you find yourself in that situation, then you understand the ability that you have. That time you will know that you have more than the ability you thought you could, because your mind at times limits your ability, but your action at times makes you know that you have more than that ability to. So I have always keep on telling myself, I am still alive. If I was dead, I would believe that there is no longer life, there is no other opportunity for me, that one day I will make it. Then I am giving up. But I am here. I believe that people succeed and failed, and yet they rise up and still continue succeeding. So being hopeful and believing in a better tomorrow, or the best is yet to come, is what has kept me going, because admiring most great leaders out there today, it wasn't easy for them. They started it also as a battle. Even you, before reaching this level that you are today, you were not just where you are today just automatically. You had your own challenges, but because of what you believe in, it kept you going. You never gave up because you believe that where you are heading to is greater than these limitations. My role is greater than what is limiting me or what is standing before me as an obstacle. And for this reason, if I see my destination to be greater, then there is no need for me to limit myself. Looking at it behind, seeing the people that you need to liberate. When you see their sufferings and their situations, even when you are weak, you become stronger, because their strength becomes your strength. When you connect with them and you see that situation, you will see that their strength, you will say, no, oh, I'm in a better situation. Her situation is worse. I need to help her. That is when the strength comes. When you take the problems of others to become your priority, not your own priority, it keeps you going, because we are humans.
That's beautiful. In the book, we really also emphasize reframing challenges as opportunities. And I was going to ask you what strategies you do recommend, but you already gave the answer. These are amazing strategies. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah. So, what is for you, if you look at future leaders, if you look at women also showing up, manifesting their ambitions, their aspirations, what for you is your most important message? What would you like to bring them as an advice for all these emerging female leaders that are ready to show up, ready to raise their voices, ready to do the work, ready to take their turn? What would be your best advice for them?
Okay, my best advice is, we have this concept here. It's like the concept of Obotu, Sukapwa, I am because you are. Here we have it in the indigenous language as the spirit of Ndanufo. The spirit of Ndanufo is the spirit of ancient wisdom. being needed in the indigenous and modern world. When we have this ancient wisdom being needed in the indigenous and modern world, where our consciousness becomes the consciousness of an ecosystem where I cannot survive without you. And then the leadership of today will be very successful, because seeing yourself in a world where you cannot survive without me, you will always do all that which it takes to keep me surviving, because my survivor determines your survivor. You become consciousness of love reciprocity. You reciprocate love. That he is a human like me. Despite the fact that I am a leader, he's not a leader. He's a human. He breathes, he eats. Therefore, I must be conscious the way I treat him. Just because maybe he's not in a position of power like me, doesn't mean that he's not human. He is human. When you have the self-consciousness of treating people out of love, and then you will see that your leadership becomes successful, because love is the greatest. When love leads, it becomes the greatest, because even during situations where you are supposed to be very much upset, that the love that is leading, it regulates the bitterness in you, and you keep on leading. You don't give up. When you have that love in you as a leader, the love for the people that you are leading, you will see that you will enjoy the best leadership life than ever before. Because I tell myself, a world without the people, it's nothing. It's all about positive vibes. It's all about thinking on how to heal people, to help people better, not to destroy people. When you start thinking about destruction with a negative energy, that is when you will know that nature will support you when you think of building than to destroy. Many people who plan evil, they fail because it is against humanity. But anything that is for humanity, it paves the way, because when you make a single soul to smile, or when you save a single soul, generations has been revived. Out of one man and one woman, generations are being made. And the same way you destroy a single soul, generations also have been destroyed, because out of that soul you have destroyed or killed, generations have been killed, because one man is equivalent to children that expands to create a very big family. Mm-hmm. So when we become conscious of respecting humans, of seeing that out of one person, when you lose one person, maybe you've lost a future president, you don't know. You learn how to value people as humans. You learn how to lead with positivity. You learn how to bring out the best for your people. So I want to encourage other leaders out there that leadership is not about self-proclamation, but it's about impacting the people who need you. We leaders must lead in action, not by words. Let our actions speak more, because the words of leaders today, they speak more than their actions. I would rather lead in my action than in words. Let love lead. Love has been my foundation of my successful leadership to where I am today. Love.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, Abumbi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, for your contribution here, and for really documenting what it is about to assume true leadership. And I wish you all the best. I wish you all the resources and the support that you need and that you want in order to actualize and manifest what you want. And I hope that this book and this contribution can also help with that. So thank you so much for being here with us.
Okay, Helen, thank you very much. Thank you very much. My regards to your family, sending love to them from Cameroon, Africa.
Thank you,
okay.
You too.